turned the television on, and lo and behold, there he was looking me right in the eye. His name was Oral Roberts. I'd like to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, here today in Tomball that a miracle happened that Sunday morning. You see, the miracle was that Sunday morning, Oral Roberts was not asking for any money. I told this story in Tulsa several years ago, and that joke didn't go very well. For old B is when a man going on a journey called his servants together and entrusted to them his property. To one he gave 5 talents, to another 2, to another 1, to each according to his own abilities. Then he went away. Then he received the 5 talents, one at once and traded with them, and he made 5 talents more. He received the 2 talents, one at once and traded with them, and he made 2 talents more. But he received the 1 talent, went and dug in the ground, and hid his master's money. And after a long, long time, the master of those servants returned and settled accounts with them. He received the 5 talents, came forth, saying, Master, deliver to me 5 talents. Here I've made 5 talents more. And his master said to him, Well done, good and faithful servant. You've been faithful over a little, I will set you over much. Enter in the joy of your master. And he received the 2 talents, came forth, saying, Master, deliver to me 2 talents. Here I've made 2 talents more. And his master said to him, Well done, good and faithful servant. You've been faithful over a little, I will set you over much. Enter in the joy of your master. But he received the 1 talent, came forth, saying, Master, I knew you to be a hard man, reaping where you did not sow and gathering where you did not winnow, so I was afraid, and I went and hid your talent in the ground, and here is what is yours. But his master answered him, saying, Go away from me, you wicked and slothful servant. And I knew at that time that man was talking to me because I had taken my talents and hid them in the ground. And that was like a watershed event in my life. I still remember it like it was yesterday. I resolved to get up the next day and go out and get a job. I went out and found a job at a furniture store located about 35 miles from my parents' house. And I had no car. Well, you know, you do what you have to do and you enjoy the price. So I rode the bus 2 hours out there every day and 2 hours back. But I found something I was good at retailing. And after about 18 months of being there at the furniture store, I began to dream of maybe having my own location. However, I didn't want to open a furniture store up there in Dallas, compete with my boss who taught me the business. So I asked him in late 1980 where it'd be a good place to start a furniture store somewhere in Texas other than Dallas. He said, Kid, I understand Houston's a boomtown. Try Houston. At that time, my brother George down here in Houston, a real estate business. I called him up one night. I said, George, this is Mac. I'm thinking about moving to Houston to get in the furniture business, see if you could find me a location. He said, Mac, he said, I'll see what I can do. He called me back about 3 weeks later. He said, Mac, I got your location. I said, well, great, George, where is it? And he said, 6006 I-45 North from Tillman Parker. And if you laugh at that joke, you watch too much television. But anyway. I said, hey, that sounds like a good deal. I said, sign me up. So he did. And I went out dinner that night. My little girlfriend, her name was Linda. She'd be with through all my ups and downs. She got in the car that night. I was all excited. I said, Linda, got great news for you tonight. She said, what's that, Mac? I said, we're going to move to Houston. We're going to get in the furniture business. She said, there ain't no way. I said, Linda, you don't understand something. We're moving to Houston to get in the furniture business. We just might do well. We might make some money. She said, look, Mac, you don't understand something. I said, what's that? She said, all my friends live here in Dallas, went to school here, I've got a good job, I'm not moving to Houston, I'm not getting the furniture business with you. Well, I had learned if you're going to be successful in business and life, especially in sales, you have to be persistent, never give up. So I kept asking her that night and asking her. Finally, about 11 o'clock, I asked her about the 40th time. She got very frustrated with me. She slammed her hand there on the dashboard and said, I'll tell you what, Mac. She said, I'll move to Houston, I'll get the furniture business with you, but you're going to have to marry me first. And I got to think to myself, this woman has put me on a difficult decision. But then I came up with what I consider to be an entrepreneurial brainstorm. I thought to myself, where else can I get an employee this cheap? I said, you got a deal. True story. So we moved to Houston in April 1981. And we're still in business 30 years later. Business changed a lot, business has grown a lot, business has been successful because of our great customers, our great employees, and the free enterprise system. Over my 30-year retailing career here in Houston, I've received a lot of prestigious awards, some deserved, some not so deserved. But the award I deserve the most and I cherish the most is the fact for the last 10 years in a row, my television ad has been voted by the marketing students at the University of Houston as the worst television ads in Houston. Why have I been successful in my career and what can you learn from me? Number one reason I've been successful in my life, my wonderful parents. My father's 87 years old, still runs the finance, thank you very much, company at Gallery Furniture. He works from home, but still runs a finance company. When I was in junior high and high school and college, my parents provided me with something much more valuable than cars, clothes, computers, and money. They provided me with values, virtues, and principles. Cars, clothes, computers, and money are temporal. They're here today and gone tomorrow. Values, virtues, and principles, however, they stay forever. My mother taught me the value of something called a work ethic. She said, son, if you want something done, go do it yourself. My father taught me how to be persistent. My father taught me how to dream. My father taught me how to never give up. I firmly believe that work is not man's penance or his punishment. It is his glory, his salvation. Work is the essence of who we are. I like that parable about using the talents. That has kind of formed my life, my view of the world. And I also believe that work is life's greatest therapy. I have a daughter. Her name is Elizabeth. She has a severe mental illness called obsessive compulsive disorder. She was 13 years old, a freshman at Westfield High School. She dropped out of school, couldn't go to school anymore. It would take her 8 hours to take a shower and take her about 6 hours to put her clothes on. And she begged her mother to kill her every night because this disease was so horrific. And then she got some therapy. Thank God we had the ability to do that. Got some therapy. She started fighting this disease. And anyway, fast forward 11 years later, the child is getting a PhD in social work at the University of Houston. So, you know. She's turning that negative in her life into a positive, try to help other people. She still fights the disease every day, but she's turning that negative into a positive. Work is life's greatest therapy. Number two reason I've been successful in my life is the fact that from day one at Gallery Furniture, we've been focused on the fact that the customer is the business and the business is the customer. Every day when I drive to work, I remind myself it's all about those customers. Nothing else matters. We're very fortunate to live in the greatest country in the world, in the greatest state, in the greatest area. Houston, Tomball is boomtown, USA compared to everything else. We're very lucky to be here where we have these wonderful people we can take care of called customers every single day. But I want to ask all of us here today, all of us business people and entrepreneurs, a very haunting question, mostly ask myself. How often do you and I see those customers as an interruption or inconvenience to our workday? I know I do all the time. Those customers are not an inconvenience or interruption to our workday. Those customers are the singular reason we're able to get out of bed and go to work every single day. Imagine a world without customers. How lucky are we to have those wonderful people we can take care of every day called customers. And the future of your business and mine boils down to one thing. What can we do differently every day to delight those customers to grab one little bit of extra bit of market share every day? What can we do differently than our competitors to delight customers so we can grow our customer base and expand the business? Because the business is all about growing and delighting those customers. And if we focus on those customers, we do the right thing. The next reason we've been successful at Gallery Furniture is the fact that we have an ability to change and ability to overcome adversity. This is my story. Thursday night, May 21st, 2009 was a night I'll never forget, not as long as I live. It was 8:30 p.m. I was at the front desk at Gallery Furniture, talking to the customers, talking to the staff. That's what I do when a call came in on the intercom line from the warehouse manager. I picked up the phone. He very urgently said, we got a fire back here. I had these security camera monitors on my desk, so I looked at all the monitors. I couldn't see anything. I twisted the joystick around, still couldn't see anything. For a very brief moment, I clung to the hope he was playing an inexcusable joke. Then I twisted the camera more, and there it was, flames jumping up 10 or 12 feet in the air. My heart sank, my pulse raced. I frantically dialed 911. The operator came on and said, there's a fire at Gallery Furniture. She said, where is it? I said, damn, I hadn't done enough advertising. True story. I gave her the address, and I dispatched several of the sales guys to go out front and direct the fire trucks to the warehouse where the fire was at. And within 2.5 minutes, the first piece of equipment arrived from the Houston Fire Department, and the battle was joined to save what we consider to be the world's greatest furniture store. I went to the cashier department. It's Thursday night before Memorial Day. There were about 6 or 8 customers checking out, and we're going to have a great day. I thought the fire was back there in the warehouse by the dumpsters would be quickly contained and warehouse operations could continue. We'd have some water and smoke damage, everything would be all right. About that very instant, 4 or 5 firefighters rushed in screaming, everybody out, everybody out, everybody out right now. I could tell from the look on their face it was much more serious than I thought. As the customers and staff were hurriedly leaving, I went to the front desk. I called my wife, Linda. I said, the warehouse is on fire. She said, how bad is it? I said, I don't know, but get out here. Then the fire chief came in demanding that I leave. I told him I'm staying here. I'm going down with the ship. He said, that's cool. Get out or get arrested. Guess what? I got out. Stumbling out on the parking lot, I was relieved to know that everybody was safe, all the customers and employees. That was the main priority. Then I turned around to see how bad the damage was at the warehouse, and I was amazed to see flames jumping up 150 feet above the building. That's when another harsh reality set in, that the entire store would probably burn to the ground. Multiple feelings flooded my brain, feelings of hopelessness, anxiety, and despondency. Then I remember the words taken from St. Paul's letter to the Romans that I read nightly in my brother George's bedside in room 33 of the cardiac ICU unit at St. Luke's Hospital in the Texas Medical Center. As he lay dying of congestive heart failure for 45 days during November and December 2008, those words are, Spe salvi facti sumi. In hope we are saved, said St. Paul to the Romans. Just as fire started to challenge my faith, I felt the grace and love of God our Father touch my soul. Immediately I had hope for a brighter future, even as the pain of the fire played out before us. Somehow, some way, I knew our future would be bright. I also knew we had to work very hard to bring that bright, sunny future back into the present. That's when things started to turn around. First, my wife Linda arrived with Laura and Elizabeth and our 2 daughters, and we held each other. We watched 28 years of our lives going up in smoke. Having them there helped more than they'll ever know. Then Fire Chief Boriski of the Houston Fire Department came to me and said the warehouse is gone, and with it, $15 million in merchandise. He said, we're going to make a stand over there at the firewall and try to save the store. I wasn't sure how those firefighters could possibly turn back that massive tower of fire, but I'll never forget the determination in his voice. Just as amazing as what happened next. As news of the disaster spread via radio, television, internet, they stopped the baseball game at Minute Maid Park for 15 minutes to show the fire on the big screen. Employees from all over the city began arriving at the store, and it was their day off. They drove him from Katy, Conroe, Tomball, Baytown, Houston, Clear Lake. Several were detained by the police for breaking through the barricade, but they all wanted to be there. After all, this was their job, their life burning down, not just the McInvales. Finally, we all decided to hold hands in a big circle and pray for faith and hope. Then we repeated the ritual we do out there every Saturday and Sunday at 4 o'clock in that furniture store. We sang God Bless America, the Star Spangled Banner, and our spirits lifted just a little as our focus shifted from Thursday night's horrendous tragedy to Friday morning's opportunity. TV stations all wanted interviews. I wasn't in the mood for that, and my daughter Elizabeth told me what I told her thousands of times during her young life. She said, Dad, chins up, smiles on. So we put chins up, smiles on. We told the story of the fire and heartbreak. We also told the story of the Gallery Furniture Post Oak. Our new location would have been open in about 2 months. Would be open at 8 a.m. Friday morning, 22nd May, to service and delight customers as usual, because that's who we are, that's what we do. We're in the customer business. Then about midnight, I met with Brenda Love, our advertising agency lady, and scheduled TV commercials the next morning, Friday morning, May 22nd at 7 a.m. At 1 o'clock in the morning, we were on our cell phones ordering 15 truckloads of furniture to unload and deliver on Friday. We took a leap of faith because we are indeed people of faith. Looking back, we may have been down, we were never out for the count, not for a second. The word failure was not in our vocabulary. They never taught me how to spell that 7-letter word when I went to the University of Texas. Looking back, I knew something else was true. Despite the terror and devastation of that night, we'd come to know, to feel, and believe in the love God had for us. Again, we knew our future would be brighter and better. We had to work very hard, however, to bring that bright, sunny future back into the present. When Friday morning arrived after a sleepless night, we realized we couldn't make our trademark same-day deliveries without a warehouse, without merchandise, and we pride ourselves on same-day delivery, and of course the merchandise we had ordered the night before was on the way. We had to find a way to get back in the game, and once again our prayers were answered. Several radio stations called me Friday morning real early about the fire, so I put out a plea for warehouse space ASAP, and shortly thereafter the phone began to ring. We visited 3 or 4 potential sites, and by 4 p.m. we quickly decided on the nationally home furniture warehouse space that was half empty in Sugar Land, Texas, 40 miles from the main store. It came complete with 50,000 feet of cantilevered furniture rack space and lift trucks. The odds of locating ideal furniture warehouse space like that in 16 hours was 1,000,000 to 1. It was a dream come true, a prayer answered. My wife, Linda, who runs warehousing and logistics at Gallery Furniture, began to cry, saying, "We got a warehouse, we got a warehouse, we got a warehouse." It was all we had to hold on to. By 5 o'clock, we're unloading the first truckloads of furniture and Tempur-Pedic sleep sets on the Gallery Furniture trucks. By night's end, we had delivered $150,000 worth of furniture and bedding, even though the building burned down the day before. A tribute to the great Gallery Furniture staff and their insatiable desire to delight customers, because that's who we are, that's what we do. As I said, we were blessed despite the tragedy. Gallery Furniture had lost millions of dollars in material possession, but our desire to rebuild was more resilient than ever. We saw that with determination and hard work and the great Judeo-Christian work ethic, we could in fact bring that bright sunny future once again back into the present. As the week went on, we were touched and overjoyed by the outpouring that came in from across the community. Thousands of cards, letters, and emails arrived daily saying, "You can do it." Our resolve firmed up. We would rebuild and transform this tragedy into a triumph. The day after the fire, there were 60 ATF agents who arrived to investigate this massive fire. It was the same crew that investigated Pentagon 9/11 in Oklahoma City. Now, I'd be lying if I didn't tell you I was shocked when the ATF announced 7 days after the fire was not accident, it was arson. I was profoundly saddened to think that some person could start this treacherous fire with malicious intent that could have killed dozens of customers or firefighters. This about that. The last major furniture warehouse fire 9 years ago in South Carolina killed 9 firefighters. There were over 100 people in the Gallery Furniture warehouse and store when that fire started at 8:30 p.m. My beloved son, James, who lives in Dallas, was crushed when he read the bloggers on HoustonChronicle.com saying that me, his dad, was the arsonist. I told James to keep the faith that good always conquers evil. As we entered the second week following the fire, business was down a whopping 80%. We had to find a way to make the business work. We had one goal: no layoffs, all employees work full hours. We constantly preach resilience, mental toughness, and tenacity. I preached that to my children and all the employees. Now it's time for me and all of us to practice what we had always preached. It was a defining moment for Gallery Furniture. All we could do was keep the faith and know and believe in the love God had for us. Never did we doubt we would rebuild bigger than better than ever. Our business is based upon a large part upon symbolism. That's why a week after the fire, we put up 60 billboards all over the area saying a simple message: 07, 04, 09 Gallery Furniture. We committed to rebuild Showroom 1, one of the 3 heavily smoke and water damaged showrooms, by the 4th of July, even though all the contractors and building inspectors said it was absolutely impossible. What's more, Gallery Furniture was committed to rise once again as a symbol of free enterprise, capitalism, power of entrepreneurial spirit, and the power of individualism to prevail in the face of overwhelming adversity. We didn't want any government help and weren't looking for any. The warehouse store was gutted on 21 May 2009, did reopen 4th of July 2009, 44 days later. The reopening, thank you. The reopening was good, symbolic of good conquering evil. It was a clear message to the arsonist, who we knew who he was by that point. We win, you lose. Now, 14 months later, he's still sitting in Harris County Jail, hadn't even been to trial yet. They said it couldn't be done, but the Gallery Furniture people did it. At Gallery Furniture, we often say, "Don't tell us it's impossible after we've already done it." We went from horror to happy in just 44 days. The Gallery Furniture people said it could be done, and it did get done. How's it done? It's called the Unsinkable Gallery Furniture Crew. Gallery Furniture's incredible employees, vendors, customers, and community pulled together to bring that bright, sunny future into the present. We raised the barn together, just like we've been doing in Texas for the past 175 years. That's what makes us unique. What have we learned from this horrific experience? First, we learned that faith in God has the power to sustain the entire Gallery Furniture family. Despite the tragedy, we came to know and believe in the love God has for us. Number 2, I learned something I already knew, namely that the Gallery Furniture folks were the most loyal and hard-working men and women anywhere in the furniture business. From gathering the night of the fire to pray and sing for hope to volunteering to do any job that needed to be done, including cleaning out that incinerated warehouse, the Gallery Furniture employees could not have responded any better. They answered the bell, they towed the line. Another lesson. I learned how government should work. I learned about the incredible expertise and daring of the Houston Fire Department. These everyday heroes ran into that burning building while all the rest of us were running out. The ATF agents and insurance inspectors said the saving of the big showroom by the Houston Fire Department was nothing short of miraculous. Just like the chief said, they made a gallant stand to stop the fire at the warehouse showroom firewall. Over 100 firefighters lined up facing that warehouse showroom firewall and put 6,000 gallons of water a minute on that wall to keep the fire out. They'd come out of that burning building with the 2,000-degree heat inside the building, with 100 pounds of gear on into the 95% humidity and heat that night, and collapse on the parking lot. It was absolutely heroic. Normally, the Houston Fire Department doesn't risk lives to protect property, only people. They knew there was nobody in that building when they got there. But several firefighters told me on the way out there, when they heard it was gallery furniture, they decided they would resolve to stand and fight. One final lesson. The outpouring of support from people who care about gallery furniture from all over the Houston area. Over 5,000 cards, letters, emails, and web postings filled with encouragement and support saying, "We love gallery furniture, we love our store, don't give up." For 30 years, I've taught the employees and I've taught myself at Gallery Furniture that the litmus test of any business is real simple. If you are to go out of business tomorrow, would the customers miss you? Thank God we passed the test. The encouragement, support, and outpouring of love from Texans has sustained us in our darkest hour. They did burn up the world's greatest furniture store, but our resolve to rebuild and overcome burns ever brighter. There comes a special moment in everyone's life, a moment for which that person was born. That special opportunity, when they seize it, helps fulfill their calling, their mission, their destiny, a mission for which they're uniquely qualified. If we're all made in the image of God, then in such moments we can find the greatness in all of us. Now, over 2 years later, the sales are back above where they were when the building burned down. Everything's back to snuff, and we are improving because we were able to bring that bright, sunny future into the present. As I think about business all the time, your business and mine, I think about the fact that things aren't the way they used to be in 2006. Probably never will be that way again. I think about the fact that all of us as small business people, entrepreneurs, or working for a big company, whatever we do, we all have to innovate or we're going to evaporate. But that's the good news. Out of chaos comes opportunity. And there's tremendous opportunity in the United States for all of us as we look forward to the bright, sunny future. We have learned through this fire that you can overcome anything with the power of the people, with the power of the entrepreneurial spirit, the power of the Judeo-Christian work ethic. We look forward to continuing to serve our customers, to continuing to overcome adversity, and most of all, we look forward to continuing to change so we can delight those customers. Remember, your job and mine is this real simple. What can we do differently today than our competitors to delight our customers, to grow our market share so our business grows? Thanks very much.
House would like to donate free photography to you.
Cool.
In your company.
Thanks, sir.
And on behalf of Network Tomball, we'd like to recognize you as Mattress Mac and thank you for speaking today.
All right.